Hello, my name is Dylan Anderson, and I'm a AWD 1115 student this semester. We are going to be going over Chapter 2, Project 2.1 and 2.2. I'm going to be focusing mainly on 2.1, and then we'll go into 2.2 code very quickly. They're both very similar projects, just different um, overall outputs. So first off, I wanted to go over and kind of explain what this project is. This is a price quotation app built from the ASP.NET Core MVC. The user enters subtotal and discount percentage, and then the app calculates the discount amount and finals total. Um, so this kind of all goes over validation, MVC structure, and CSS styling. There's a little HTML in here. There's a little CSS. Very basic stuff to kind of start off with. But what I struggled with mainly, and what I kind of want to focus this on, is the structure, the folder structure, getting everything started. I think that's the main key here, is kind of remembering how all that's supposed to go. So we have the model folder, we have the controller, we have the views, we have a shared folder for some HTML layout, stuff like that. You can see under the views we have a home folder. So just going over some quick stuff. The models is for the calculations, the views is for the UI, and the controllers is for our logic and routing. So when I first start the project, I just pretty much just make a www root. I make a CSS folder. I make a controllers, models, views. I'll go ahead and pre-create the home inside the views. I'll make the shared as well. And that's my basic setup pretty much. So let's go into models and look at some of that code here. So as you can see, we have some error messages here. This is going to show you that if something is entered, or if the range is from, if we go in and we try to put a discount that's below 0 or above 100, it's gonna throw an error message saying discount percent is required. Or same thing with subtotal. If the range is over what I put here, a million, then it's going to throw an error. Or if it's below 0.01, it's going to throw an error. And then it's going to calculate the discount amount. It's going to calculate the total. So we have both our returns here showing the how that's going to play, or our return labels showing our inputs and outputs. Let's see. We're explaining the model calculations. Let's go to controllers here. Let's see, where's my controller notes at? Anywho, this is where you get the HTTP get, HTTP post. So we just have a return here for our model, our price quotation model equals new price quotation model, and then we return that output. And then we have an if statement inside here. Pretty much just a catch statement almost, saying if it's valid, return this. If else, it's going to return invalid. So let's get into the home. Here's some of the code that I used for pretty much just basic CSS stuff. I used our labels for chapter 2. and just inputted everything in there. We've got a subtotal label, we've got an index, um, we've got a discount percentage. I'll show you that here in a second, and then we've got the should have our our submit and our total right down here. So we'll open this up and kind of see what all it looks like. But this was pretty cool to go through for the first time. It was just a lot of basic. It was trying to figure out the folder layout is what I struggled with. So you can see, we'll show here's my CSS layout or my style sheet. So I just use basic CSS formatting to kind of line up with what the project wanted. I went from there. So here is the final for that. So if we do $100 total, our discount percentage is 20. Going to calculate that. Discount amount is $20. Our total is $80. We can clear that out and it clears. So yeah, that is my 2.2. Let's open up our other one real quick and just go over that. I'll just show you the code for 2.2 as well. It's all the same stuff. Same folder layout. As you can see over here, we've got our models, views, home, shared. We've got our root with the CSS folder, and our this is the point I'll make on this one. So if you do not put your site.css under your CSS folder and you've just got this embedded within the root, it is not going to catch and you could make however many changes in your CSS and nothing would happen. So I was struggling with that on the first go around. I moved it within the CSS folder and everything worked out. So you can see the CSS is very, very similar. We've got our margins, we've got our margin bottom. It's going to display in an inline block. We've got our padding, our buttons. So here's our views. We can go in the index. This is all just pretty common and basic off of the same one. See our layout. We've got our render body. It links the style sheet with, it links all this, so we don't really need to do too much in here either. This is all basic formatting. So let's open up and look at this one real quick, and then we'll be done. So yeah, same way. You've got our dark blue heading. We've got our cost of the meal. It'll show you 15%, 20%, 25%. So let's just do family of 4. It was $210 for the meal. 31.50, 42, 52.50. You can calculate that out. It is correct. Let's make sure our clear button works. Let's throw $50, 7.50, 10, 12.50, and let's see if we throw an A. The value is not valid for meal cost. Not valid for it's just throwing errors everywhere, so it's going to make you change that. If you throw 100, if you throw something over, oh, I guess it will calculate that out. It's just saying that it's a big number. So let's go back and just do 250. It'll clear out all that. So yep, all of our catch errors work and all that. So yeah, that is my chapter 2 stuff. Thank you for watching.